So, the left is so inclusive, right? Females are so here for each other, correct? Woman calls the cops on breastfeeding mom for nursing in public, and they come to shut her down. But you'll advocate for porn and ripping babies apart in the womb, won't ya? If you're sick of hearing stories about mothers getting shamed for public breastfeeding, you're not alone. And yet they keep on coming. Even in 2019, despite all that's been done to normalize breastfeeding, you don't gotta normalize it. It is normal, jackasses. The latest headline-making story comes out of Sharonsville, Ohio, where a cafe customer grew so irate when she saw a mother breastfeeding on Friday that she called the cops. But if the customer was hoping to shame the mother for daring to feed her child in public, she wasn't about to get the satisfaction. The incident reportedly happened at Already Cafe and Espresso Bar during the afternoon lunch rush. Cafe owner Victoria Reddy said she was aware of the customer's irritation because the woman was not being quiet about voicing her opinion to serve her. Still, Reddy was pretty shocked that the situation escalated so quickly. That's because you people have no fucking brakes. You have absolutely none. You're a bunch of Pavlov's dogs. Trigger. Trigger. Next thing we know, the police are at the door. Reddy told the Cincinnati Enquirer. Sharonville police showed up minutes later, but didn't exactly deliver the news the angered customer was looking for. If the woman was unaware of one pretty important fact, breastfeeding in public is legal in all 50 states. So, this broad's probably either one of two things, but they're both on the end of the spectrums. One is a freaking nut job liberal, or a radical, conservative. Maybe the problem is she wasn't breastfed as a baby. Who knows? She was well within, so the breastfeeding mom who so offended her, she was well within her rights, and the police let the complaining woman know that. The only good news, according to Reddy, is that there's a chance the mother had no idea she was even being complained about. Before the cops arrived, she finished her meal and left. Still, the fact is, this even, I don't have my glasses, still happens in 2019 is pretty alarming. And the irony of all ironings, that it happened during World Breastfeeding Week. It was probably a tranny. Oh my God. How do I know it was? Because they hate real women. These newt. Oh God. Jessica Yaniv. The taser brandishing lawsuit happy pedophilic by proxy dirtbag who wants to make it legal and mandatory for women to be sexually violated by having to perform sadistic, sick grooming acts on a sweaty, cajoni, makeup-wearing fruitcake whose mother is more happy she's got an old biddy she can grow even older with, buddy, to run around town on their little scooters with, than she did having a son, because she knew at some stage that's no man in the sense of who he is as a dignified human being. That's some type of abomination who's literally insane, and I can see why, having a mother like her. But I digress. The annual Awareness Week, which runs from August 1st to 7th, is spearheaded by the World Alliance for Breastfeeding Action, a global network dedicating to the protection, promotion, and support of breastfeeding worldwide. Why we have to have this, I don't know. It's stupid. It's a waste. These things aren't here for men. That's not what they were intended to be there for. But apparently, it's all right to pimp the nipple. You just can't pump the nipple, right? In just one portion of Breastfeeding Awareness Month, which aims to spread knowledge, research, and support of the many benefits of breastfeeding, God, nature, creation gave you ways to feed 2 kids. One on standby, in case you got one. No, it's okay to pump sexualization of children. That's fine. But anything normal and natural, we gotta have a freaking parade for it. Right? We gotta have an awareness month for it. But probably wouldn't even be covered by the mainstream news, because I didn't know it was Breastfeeding Week. Did you? As well as the resources available to new moms who may be struggling. Wrapped up in all of this is also the hope that helps normalize breastfeeding by removing the stigma many moms feel when they're trying to breastfeed their children in public. After all, the AMA, or the AAOP, whatever, strongly recommends mothers exclusively breastfeed their infants for at least 6 months. Although exclusive breastfeeding, or even breastfeeding at all for that matter, doesn't work for everyone, the research is pretty clear. When it is possible, it can have incredible benefits. For fuck's sake, it was the only way to feed a child for a millennial! Humans are getting stupider and stupider. It can have incredible benefits, which is why doctors want mothers to be armed with the support and knowledge they need to succeed. Well, if they had the support and knowledge of their, matriarchal side of the family, explaining things to them, you wouldn't need a freaking doctor. Go to the village elder. The headlines of breastfeeding-related altercations are so frequent we can hardly keep track of them. All. In June, a mom in Texas was asked to leave a town pool because she was breastfeeding her toddler on a lounge chair. A nurse-in was later staged by local mothers in the pool and issued an apology, but still the damage was done. Back in March, a mom in Australia was shamed for breastfeeding in public and accused of being sexually explicit. No, it's normal to be sexually explicit about children in little bathing suits and things like that, walking down the road, seeing them on the magazines, all of that. That's fine. Having women in magazines on covers with fake tits, fine. Don't you dare use it for what it was intended for. You hear me? The hell's wrong with you? And last August, a woman on Facebook shared an upsetting incident in Walmart in which a fellow mom condemned her for daring to breastfeed in front of her sons, who were 5 and 7 at the time. I think you should be arrested for not explaining to your sons what breasts were for and sexualizing it. You're the same reason you shouldn't spank your children. Not because they don't need discipline, but because you equate it with a sexual act later on in life. You're twisted like that. I bet you're the type of woman that has daddy spank her when the boys are in bed, don't ya? Who knows? These stories are only the tip of the iceberg, though, and sadly not the last ones we'll hear. As for Reddy, she says she supports breastfeeding and hopes the message gleaned from this story and that nursing mothers everywhere deserve our understanding and acceptance. I just feel it's a natural thing and it's a good thing, and I wish more moms did it. Adding that her only regret is not being closer to the customer to have shut down the whole thing. I kind of take that as, bitch, I'd have told you off.